June 1st marks the merciful end of the Bonaparte dynasty. Now, some of you may be thinking, hang on, he's somehow gotten the date of the Battle of Waterloo very wrong, or perhaps of the end of the Franco-Prussian War. But I'm thinking of June 1st, 1879, and I'm thinking of the Anglo-Zulu War, at which point you may think I'm as lost when it comes to geography as I am with history. But nay, because what I'm talking about is the death of Napoleon Eugène. Napoleon the Fourth, as some people insisted on calling him, the last of the Bonapartes. He is the only son of Napoleon III, and when the Franco-Prussian War was going all pear-shaped, he was sent first to Belgium and then to England for safety. Yes, indeed, there was another Napoleon. And you got to feel a bit sorry for that guy. I mean, I'm no fan of Napoleon I, and Napoleon III is the one who prompted Hegel's taunt that history repeats itself. The first time is tragedy, the second is farce. But Napoleon I was a massive, imposing figure with outsized virtues as well as outside failings. And Napoleon III was at least a famous idiot. I guess that's something. It's not very much. But then Napoleon IV, nobody's ever heard of him. Nobody even knows he exists. But there he is. Oh yeah, you're a Napoleon. And the Bonapartists are saying, you're the real Emperor of France. Lucky chap. He went to England. And apparently he liked it there. I mean, he enrolled in the military academy. He became a soldier. Problem is, of course, if you're Napoleon, you got something to live up to there. He even went into the artillery, like his famous great uncle. And there was some talk that he might marry one of the daughters of Queen Victoria, to which my gosh, oh, that's all we need. A pretender to the imperial throne of France is also in the British royal family. I mean, it's bad enough having people like Charles de Gaulle around. At least he didn't think he was a Napoleon. Actually, he thought he was Jeanne d'Arc. Maybe that's worse. But back to poor Napoleon Eugène. He really wanted to see overseas service. He really wanted to prove that he wasn't just some layabout with a fancy name. So finally, partly through the intervention of his mother and partly through the intervention of Queen Victoria, he was allowed to go to Africa. But he was meant to be there as an observer, and people told, keep him safe. Find somewhere for him that's sort of interesting and active, but where he's not going to get his fool self killed. And they thought they had. He was basically involved in helping move supplies around, but he wanted to go scouting. And he showed the usual Napoleon recklessness without, whether you call it luck or genius, of his great uncle. He was more like his father that way. He almost got himself killed in an ambush. He didn't. Then he went off on another scouting mission. It was thought to be safe, but it wasn't. He was attacked by a whole bunch of Zulus. And I will say that he died well. He didn't just die as a soldier. He fought so heroically that at one point he was fighting off his attackers with a spear he'd pulled out of his own leg. But the problem is there were 40 of them and only a few of him, and he was killed. And the guy who was meant to be escorting him suffered disgrace for not having stood and fought and died with him. After he died, of course, all kinds of conspiracy theories sprung up. Amongst the Bonapartists, it was thought it was the Freemasons or the Republicans. Others said, oh no, it's Queen Victoria. She found having a Napoleon kicking around awkward, and she arranged for his death. Unfortunately, the poor chap arranged for his own death. He was determined to see active service, and like many soldiers, he was killed on active service, but he was also the victim of his own recklessness. And I said this was merciful because with all the troubles the world has, I don't think we needed another Napoleon or a Napoleonic dynasty hanging around eyeing the throne of France. It doesn't mean I'm glad he died. I feel sorry for him. I think he was born into a difficult situation. But I am relieved that on June 1st of 1879, whatever troubles the unhappy world continued to have, it was at least freed permanently of the Bonaparte dynasty. If you're enjoying these commentaries, please visit my website, that's johnrobson.ca, make a monthly pledge to keep my work in production, and of course, keep watching and subscribing to The Rebel for the news and commentary you won't get anywhere else.